Hey guys, Ben here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. It's the next day, so we've had 24 hours for this concrete to semi-set up, right? Hard enough for me that I can keep working. Truth is, I didn't sleep a wink last night. I was thinking to myself, because I kept doing measurement after measurement and stuff just didn't seem like it wanted to line up. But I know that the math was right, and so the whole time I was just worried about that. And I came out here and I brought some mason line blocks and I stretched some lines out, and so far so good. Now that I have my corner blocks, I took my string that I was running from stake to stake, and now I'm using these mason line blocks and I'm running it from corner to corner. So I set it at the top of this block to the top of that block, and then I pulled it tight. So tight, in fact, you get it to that point where you're like, something's gonna give, the line's gonna break, or the block's gonna crack because the concrete's still fresh. Just to that point where you really start puckering and getting nervous. And that's how tight this line is. My hope is that I get it tight enough that it takes some of that sag out of it. The next thing I did was, you see there's a little line bubble level there. I measured right to the midpoint. So this wall here is going to be 24 feet, so I measured 12 feet to the center and I put that bubble there. Not bad, not too bad. It's a little bit high, just a tiny bit high on that side, but I'll take that. I'll take it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna measure all the other sides, make sure everything's level, make sure I kept everything square, and then hopefully I can start running with these blocks. Yesterday was not super productive, but it was just a lot of really stopping, thinking, making sure I don't make any mistakes. We'll see if today's any faster, but I'm still working on that first run, and the first run is always the hardest. Look at him, trying to come after me. You know it's warming up when the ticks start coming out. I'm gonna keep working, but man, is it just me? I have a real, I don't want to say phobia for ticks, but I don't like them. I don't like them. They serve no purpose. I'm sure that guineas like to eat them or something, but I don't own any guineas, so these ticks can go somewhere else. But that's what you live with when you're out in the woods. Man, I tell you, humidity is like 200% right now. I don't know if it's that we had rain last night, that's probably what it is, but the humidity is really high and the ticks are out with a vengeance today. I've seen 3-4 ticks in like the hour that I've been here, kind of puttering around doing random stuff, but I got a couple blocks laid down, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep working at it. We'll see how far we get today. I showed up a little bit later today than I was planning on. Kind of showed up right at the hottest part of the day, the brightest part of the day, so the concrete is setting up on me. Have I mentioned I'm not a mason? Anyways, I'm gonna get back to it here, but yeah, just status update. This is hard work. I'll see you guys in a little bit. I think I forgot to mention this before when I was talking about these mason line blocks. These things are really cool, and I think the one thing to remember though is when you're lining it up with your top row of bricks, you kind of have to put another brick, just dry set it on top. You really only need it so that the top edge of that block catches it and it has something heavy to hold it back so that you can pull that line really tight. And then once you're done, I can take that block off and I'm good to go. Thankfully, I don't have too many of these to do today. I forgot my saw and my masonry blade. So I went ahead and just grabbed what I had here, which was basically a hammer. Definitely have to wear eye protection, and just something that I could use to chip slowly. And I just kept hitting a tiny little groove over and over again, and then flipping it and doing it on the other side over and over again until it basically creates a fault line that just cracks the concrete. So just a little tip if you didn't know, this is actually something that you can do with stone as well, not just concrete. I'd imagine it's a lot harder to do with stone, maybe even easier in some cases. Depends on the kind of stone, right? But anyways, yeah, it's definitely something you can do if you just have a couple hand tools and no power out in the middle of nowhere. All right, I'm gonna be real quick here. I've got some mortar setting up, so I can't talk for too long. There was a little bit of a bump in the footer that I had poured, and I don't like the way the block was setting. It was starting to get above the line. Here's what I'm gonna do. I can't do it today, but next time I'll bring the tools for it. I scraped off the mortar while it was still wet. I cleaned off this area. This particular spot just had a little bit of a bump on it. You can see already over here where it's starting to creep just above the line. And then by the time it got to this spot here, it was just way over the line, like a 1/4 inch or so. And that's just, I don't know, that's too much for me. I'm gonna take this block and I'm gonna saw about 1 inch off of it. So it's gonna be like a 7-inch block that I'll put there, which is totally fine because it's gonna get covered up by the dirt. I'm still beneath the soil, beneath the finished grade here. So any of the ugly stuff, I'm gonna try and do under the ground. Just like over there, that was that block I had to chip to fill in that space before the bump up. Again, I'm going to cover all of that up anyway, so you'll never see it. And so I'm just gonna keep going at this, and I guess I'll leave you guys here. The bugs are insane. There's ticks everywhere. The humidity is super high. Man, I sure pick them. I pick the best days, but you know, you do what you can when you can, right? As always, you guys be good. I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys, I'll see you. Blah, blah, blah.